Alright, Dr. Shankobotamus here. Welcome to one of my newer video creations. You're looking at one of my honeybee hives from August 21st, 2017, just before the great American eclipse. I started filming the hive about 30 minutes before everything got started. On this particular clip, totality occurs at about 6 minutes and 26 or so seconds into it. As you can see, the bees are out doing their normal thing, and here we are just 6 minutes before totality, so we're already in pretty big partial eclipse. But you see a lot of bees still coming and going from the hive. You can still see out on the front porch here quite a few of the guard bees that are running around doing their thing. Bees climbing up the front and coming in, taking off, doing their normal thing. As we go along, though, we're going to stop and take a look at what happens at totality, and it does change their behavior a little bit. At least it looks like to me. Anybody who's looking at this, wants to see this, welcome to look through this. I have the longer tapes available if you want to study exactly how many bees are coming and going, exactly what they do. But you guys can watch through this for just a little bit, and then I will come back here close to totality and we'll talk about what we're seeing. Thanks for listening. Oh, I can't believe I said that. Okay, for all you youngsters out there, a tape that I mentioned in my previous recording is this little funky looking thing that kind of looks like a brownish stuff, kind of shiny sort of stuff. Okay, goes on a reel or goes inside of a cassette, and that's what we used to put stuff like music, movies, video onto something called a tape. So before you start making fun of my tape use, I'm old, not my problem, not my fault, but this is a video, okay? So you just want to railing about the tape thing. Yeah, I said tape, I said it, but just keep enjoying the bees. Alright, so what I've been doing with this video today is the video obviously was recorded without audio. I'm trying to put audio over the top of it. So let me know what you guys think about how this is working. I might make some more comments on future videos that I'm doing, future tapes, if you will, that I am making. So you can see the bees still coming and going, doing about their normal thing, and we're beginning to approach totality here. And then we'll see how these little ladies, what they start doing. Actually, they are little ladies. If you don't know that, almost all of the bees that you see coming out of the hive are female bees. The drones, just use them for making new bees and fertilizing the queens. They're not that much use. They just eat a bunch of honey and lay around and fly around a little bit. So, yeah, what you see going in and out of the hive here are going to be pretty much all lady bees. All right. So we're running just about a minute here from Totality. You can see things beginning to darken up a little bit. Still looks like plenty of bees that are coming. Not as many bees, it looks like, that are leaving the hive. If you want to sit down and count them, you might can, but it appears to me you got a lot more that seem to be coming home now, as opposed to crawling on out and heading out. The bees during the usual day, they will probably half the hive, give or take, will be out foraging. Maybe a little less than half the hives, quite a few bees. At night, they all come back home. They're not going to be out flying around during the day, and so that's why I wanted to see what happens when you have a total eclipse. Bees use the sun to navigate. They use the sun to communicate with other bees where the goodies are when they're going after pollen and nectar and everything they need and the water. So here we go. About to descend into Totality here. You'll kind of hear us off in the background screaming and yelling just a little bit. Here we go. There you go. You can hear it faintly in the background. That's us kind of whooping it up because it was beautiful pictures, or a beautiful sight. I got some really great pictures. But look at the hive. I mean, now you see there are very few bees coming and going compared just to a couple of seconds ago. They really slowed it down. They are still coming in. It's very difficult, at least for me, to see any that are leaving. There may be one or two that are leaving, but the vast majority of the bees now are coming in, and it's a lot lower number, it appears, that are coming in than were before we went into Totality. So we were in about a minute and 46 seconds, I think, of Totality is what we had. And as you'll see, when Totality begins to ease off, and the eclipse or the moon begins to move away and we start to brighten back up here, you will notice that a few more bees begin to get active, but they don't go all the way back to as active as they were before. And even now you can see just a few crawling along the front. If you want to back up and compare that to the pictures from just a little bit ago, pretty easy. And you will see a stark difference, I think, in what the bees are doing. Almost treating this like nighttime, it would appear. Okay, so here we are about to come out of Totality. You'll hear us in the background again. There we go. Pretty amazing. Quite a few Bailey's beads that we could see. Got some pictures of. But looking back at the hive, you can tell here where there's still... Look back at the pictures before. There's definitely not as many bees. The vast majority of the bees are going in. Very few are coming out. And look at the position. Earlier before the eclipse, a lot of bees were out on the front porch there, out on the landing, where they're coming and going. They've kind of tucked back underneath, the best I can tell. And a lot of those that sit out there on that landing are the guard bees. You got a series of guard bees across the front that kind of try to identify who's coming in, why they're coming in and what they're up to. Funky thing about some of these bees, the way that they were created and what they're able to do. The guard bees will let you in, you being another bee, let's say, from another hive. They'll let you in if you're bringing pollen, or if you've got your honey sacks full of honey, or if you just come in to look around and you're bringing nothing. However, when you try to leave, if you leave with more than nothing, if you try to pack up your honey sacks and leave, even if it's honey you brought with you, if you try to get some pollen and leave with that, they will attack you. They won't let you back out of the hive. They know if you belong or not. So it's kind of interesting. But it looks to me like they're kind of hanging back. They're hiding underneath the shade there. You can count the bees coming and going. I'm seeing very few that are going. A lot more bees that are landing and continue to come back into the hive. Appears that they're kind of shut down like they would for night. Now later on in the afternoon, I didn't videotape them late in the day, but hours later they kind of got back to just about normal activity. But just interesting to see what they do and how they react. We're just a few minutes after the eclipse, and they're starting to come back out on the porch a little bit, but still you can see a lot more coming in than there are going out. I've got taped to 30 minutes after the eclipse that I might post. I might just post the whole thing if y'all want to see it, the whole boring 1 hour. But anyway, anybody who's out there that knows a lot more about these bees than I do, want to research what happens during eclipse, if this tape helps, let me know. We can make some kind of arrangement for you guys to get a hold of the tape and review it and count the bees and do whatever you need to maybe do some research on these honeybees during an eclipse. But thank you so much for watching. Hope this wasn't too boring. This isn't jumping around acting crazy. This is more like a little scientific experiment that I really wanted to do with the hives on the Great American Eclipse of August 21st of 2017. Dr. Shankopanovas signing off, and as always, thank you very much for watching.